All right, this just goes to show the hypocrisy and the fact that Shedeur Sanders was targeted and blackballed in last year's NFL draft because Fernando Mendoza of Iowa is doing the same exact thing that Shedeur Sanders did, but Shedeur Sanders was maligned for it. He was targeted for it, and he was blackballed in the draft. We got to break this down. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video as well. It'd be greatly appreciated. Now, for Fernando Mendoza, it came out today that Fernando Mendoza will not be throwing at the NFL Combine. The Las Vegas Raiders will have to wait until April 1st to watch their future #1 pick throw the football. And his reasoning for it was he wanted to throw to his guys and give them a chance to be showcased. That sounds a lot like what Shedeur Sanders said he wanted to do for his guys at Colorado last year. And he was attacked for it. He was criticized for not going. He was criticized for it. Let's be real. Here it says, the Las Vegas Raiders front office and coaching staff are getting ready for the NFL Combine next week. It is the first time they'll get a chance to meet with all the top prospects and see them work out in person. Blah, blah, blah. Of course, the #1 pick is slated for Fernando Mendoza. Basically a shoe-in for the Raiders to pick with their new head coach, Clint Kubiak. However, the Raiders will meet with Mendoza during the interviews. They won't get a chance to see him throw, and we'll have to wait until his pro day. Now, he was quoted as saying this. At the Combine, you're throwing to different receivers. It's a whole different thing, and I want to make sure I give my guys the best chance. I want to throw at pro day with my guys, with my running backs, and be there with basically, I want to be there with my team, okay? Now, when Shedeur Sanders said this, it was World War III. It was everybody wanted to go at Shedeur for saying he wanted to showcase his guys at Colorado, the Jimmy Horns, the LeJohntay Westers of the world who ended up getting drafted. It was an issue when it was Shedeur Sanders. Take a look at this right here. Boom, Adam Schefter, projected #1 pick, Fernando Mendoza will not throw at the Combine this week per source. He will throw at Indiana's Pro Day on April 1st, okay? Where he has multiple pass catchers that Mendoza wants to help showcase. And then you see this post here. Hey, they pushed Shedeur Sanders down to the 144th pick because I didn't play in the Senior Bowl or throw at the Combine and wanted to showcase my wide receivers to NFL scouts. I hope Mendoza is ready for his draft slide, right? Right. He ain't sliding nowhere, man. And that just goes to show you that Shedeur Sanders and Coach Prime were targeted. They were blackballed. And there was 100% collusion going on when it came to Shedeur Sanders being drafted in the freaking 5th round, which was absolutely ridiculous. And if you want to convince yourself of anything otherwise, have at it. Let's take a listen to Tony Grossi and Chops as they talked about some of the draft prospects that could potentially be with Shedeur Sanders for next season.
And I'll have some questions about how the Browns fit into that.
First of all, there's no Joe Alt. There's no, franchise type left tackle in this draft. Even the top rated one, and really there's no consensus on who is the #1 offensive tackle in this draft. Mm-hmm. And Daniel Jeremiah also believes that the gap between the #1 tackle and the #5 tackle is not that great. So, and he believes at least 5 will be taken in the 1st round. So even if the Browns postpone their decision on a tackle till number 24, they could still get one of those top 5, probably.
Well, Tony, so you mentioned that he doesn't believe that there's a consensus and there's not a Joe Alt type, but how did he have them ranked? Do we know,
Yeah, he has the Utah Fano #1.
Okay.
And I think he's got Maui Noah 2, and then he's got the kid from Clemson and Strongsville #3.
Okay.
And 4, he's got Monroe Freeling.
Okay.
These are just the offensive tackles.
Yeah.
And there are some teams that believe Maui Noah should kick inside as a guard and be an all-pro guard, but you can definitely play him at tackle.
So Tony, obviously, this conference call that Daniel Jeremiah did comes off the heels of his mock draft 2.0, where he had the Browns going offensive tackle, with their 2 first-round picks. He had them going Fano at 6, or Fano, excuse me, and then Freeling at 24.
Yeah.
Do you think, are you buying more into this idea? Because rebuilding this offensive line is going to be probably priority number 1 for the Browns, and
Yes.
you're not going to be able to do it all in free agency and trade.
Well, first of all, in my research, no team, at least in the Browns expansion era, which started in 1999, no team has taken 2 tackles in the first round in the same draft. Okay. So this would be unprecedented since the turn of the century. I also, Chops, will know what the Browns have done in free agency by the draft.
Yes.
If they don't get an offensive tackle in free agency or trade, you might consider taking 2 of them with your 2 first-round picks. But I don't think that's going to be the case. And I think it's a little risky to have 2 rookies. Now, Seattle did this in 2022. They used their first-round pick and their third-round pick on offensive tackles, and those guys are still starting on their Super Bowl championship team. But that was a first-rounder and a third-rounder. To devote 2 first-rounders, I don't know if they have that luxury to do that.
Well, let me ask you this, Tony. So the narrative that's going around now, and it's interesting to me because when you look at the free agent class of offensive linemen, it is deeper at least at guard. Interior offensive linemen in this free agent class is deeper than at offensive tackle, which makes sense. If a team has a good offensive tackle, they tend to not let them go. Rasheed Walker could be the number 1, but he could very well be back in Green Bay. But Tony, the narrative is that there's a deeper interior offensive lineman group for free agency. I'm talking like Elijah Vera Tucker is going to be out there. He's someone who's been linked to the Browns. So what do you think of the process of, all right, the Browns sign interior linemen in free agency or trade and go about it that route and then address the tackles later? Like, do you think that would be a good strategy, or how would you do that?
No, I would be uncomfortable having 2 rookie tackles right from the start. I would want a veteran tackle, a good one, a good starting caliber veteran tackle, and then supplement him with a first round pick. I just it's offensive tackles take time to develop too. Although you get them in the first round, those are your 10-year tackles. You take them the first round, but I would just feel uncomfortable that starting from scratch with 2 rookie